What month of July? In the city of Strasbourg, a girl named Trophia was dancing in the square. You'd think, what's the big deal? Summer, sunshine? A good mood, so she decided to relax. Maybe she'd had too much to drink. Maybe she just wanted a holiday. Maybe. But the dance with the trophy continued for several days without stopping. And according to eyewitnesses, the woman did not feel any joy from the dance. On the contrary, and she tried with all her might to stop dancing. But her legs wouldn't obey her. What's more, soon other people began to join her devilish dance. By the end of the week, about 40 people were dancing. By the end of the month, there were over 400 forest dancers. People danced to exhaustion, to powerlessness, to death. At the peak of the dancing plague, up to 15 corpses a day were carried off the ghastly dance floor. But the places of the dead were taken by new dancers. The deadly dances went on for over a month. And then it was suddenly over. The survivors stopped and just went home. This story is absolutely real and well documented in medieval sources, completely unexplained by official science. Like other similar cases. In the African Tanganyika village of Kashasha, 3 female students started laughing. And that would have been all right. But their laughter for 16 days. Soon, the other girls started laughing. In the end, they became 95. Out of 159 students, the school had to be closed.
And the girls were sent home, but that did not solve the problem.
On the contrary, the epidemic began to spread through the surrounding villages. And in the end, 14 schools had to be closed. And the uncontrollable laughter spread to over 1,000 people. And again, it ended abruptly.
The laughter stopped.
18 months later. And once again, scientists were unable to explain what had happened. However, in this case, the location itself could potentially provide a hint. That's Africa, a mysterious continent. A land of mystery, riddles, the ancient magic of voodoo. Or rather, its predecessor, hoodoo. A mysterious practice whose adherents the Africans believe, can control people at a distance, inspire the thoughts of entire tribes, and even raise the dead. And today we're going to talk about voodoo, and magic in general, and we're going to try to understand how its rituals can be explained scientifically. From a scientific point of view. Interested? Then give me a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. You are on the X-Files channel. My name is Jana Edelstein. I'm the creator of this channel. And usually, traditionally, at this second, we do one important thing. Before we start this video, I want to thank you for being active under the previous videos. And I'd like to give you 30,000 rubles, absolutely randomly. And then we'll continue. So let's pick a random comment. Russian soul. Making a screen. Thank you for your labors. Very useful information. Please contact us at the link in the header of the profile. We will send you 10,000 rubles as a gift. We do not choose only good comments to whom we will give gifts. Therefore, girl, with all due respect, it's better to keep quiet. First of all, you'll let an intelligent guest be heard. And second of all, you'll at least pass as at least not stupid. It's better to just keep quiet. Contact us completely anonymously at the link in the header of your profile, and we will also give you 10,000 rubles for your honest comment, for your honest opinion. And you will choose that third comment. I wonder if we'll dig together. I don't know what, I don't know who, just a random comment. I'm taking a screenshot too. Contact us. And of course, leave an honest comment under this video after you watch it, because in the next video, we're going to be picking the winners from this video. And maybe it will be one of you, and we will send you 10,000 rubles. Thank you for being with us. My name is Jana Edelstein, and we're going to continue. So, the claim that magic works has been tested in practice by millions of people around the world, every day. Events happen here and there that are completely outside the boundaries of the world. As defined by official science, of course. Magic finds missing people. Curing diseases, predicting futures that the official worldview can't see as they haven't happened yet. There are magical objects too. For example, the Japanese doll Aki. The most noticeable detail of her appearance is her long hair. Except that when the doll was given to a girl, also named Akika,
The doll's hair was
short. But the girl soon died, and the inconsolable parents placed the doll in a tomb. And from then on, her hair began to grow. They tried repeatedly to cut it off, but it grew back again and again. Research confirmed that the hair is human. And the relatives really believed that the doll has the girl's soul. Is it possible? But dolls and other humanoid figures have always played a special role in magic. Think of the same voodoo dolls, on a wax man in which the hair or fingernail of the victim is placed. The wax dummy is damaged and in parallel begins to hurt, and the one whom the doll depicts. Magicians call this law-like behavior, and scientists call it nonsense and prejudice, of course, because in modern physics, supposedly, there are no mechanisms that could explain the action of law-like behavior. But does it? Remember Schrödinger? The one who may or may not have a cat. Well, back in 1935, he gave a name to Einstein's discovery of the effect of quantum entanglement. Quite simply, a particle always has a pair. And by acting on one particle, we can make the other particle change. It was originally thought that it only worked when the particles were side by side. But it soon became clear. It became clear that distance didn't matter. And the other particle could be a couple of millimeters away, or it could be on the other side of the universe. And the change would still happen. And it would be instantaneous. But at the time, the theory was too bold for the scientific community. For example, Nobel Prize winner Niels Bohr said that quantum entanglement was nonsense. However, over time, it turned out that Einstein was right after all. The conclusive proof of quantum entanglement was experimentally demonstrated in the year 2000, when a report was published by the Austrian Institute for Quantum Optics and Quantum Information. Scientists were able to disperse streams of entangled photons between laboratories on the islands of Palma and Tenerife, and see that the entangled photons actually change. By the way, although most experiments use photons, this is due to the fact that they are easier to work with. Other particles have pairs too, including the ones that make up our bodies. Quantum entanglement is a possible clue to the mechanisms of law-like behavior. Because if a magician assembles the particles associated with your body into a doll, then manipulating it could cause the particles in your body. And through that, the owner of the figures can make you, for example, to dance or laugh for days on end. Thus, the answers to the riddles of magic rituals may lie in the field of quantum physics. The world of elementary particles is only beginning to be revealed to man, and it would be too naive and presumptuous to think that the principles of the quantum world are known only to European science, that the sages of different countries and peoples, who have studied our world for millennia, they have never discovered a single law of the quantum world. They did it a little differently than modern scientists. And here it's time to remember British futurologist Arthur C. Clarke, who argues that what we think of as magic may be a technology that we, for various reasons, can't yet understand. And indeed, it's long been thought that magic is impossible because there's no scientific explanation for its existence. It couldn't be because it could never be. And that was true until physicists discovered the wonderful world of elementary particles. The discoveries of Einstein, Planck, Bohr, Schrödinger, and other great physicists showed us that the universe was not just a vast expanse of solid matter scattered across the vastness of space, surrounded by emptiness. The universe is an incredible combination of energy fields, vibrations, particles, and waves, living according to laws that we're only beginning to understand today. All matter is made up of the energy, densely compacted energy, and that's why it looks like matter. Let us go a little deeper into science so that at the end it will be clear to you why what is commonly thought of as magic can be explained in terms of the laws of the universe. To understand these processes, we first need to understand what physicists call superposition. Let's take the simplest example. Imagine that you have bought a pair of socks. One of them is definitely right-handed, and the other is definitely left. But you won't know which is which until you start putting them on. And as soon as you put one sock on your left foot, the second sock will become right in the same second. Before that, the socks were in superposition. The conclusion here is obvious. The properties of an object depend directly on the observer. And then that opens up a huge amount of space for a thought. For example, in the XX century, French scientist Louis de Broglie discovered the principle of corpuscular wave dualism. In general, forget about the terms, because our task is just to follow the logical chain. You can forget. Based on this experiment, every elementary particle is both a solid material entity and an energy wave. According to Broglie, a wave becomes a particle if the observer wants it to. You see? It was a wave. And now it's a particle. Doesn't that remind you of the principle of thought materialization? And it's extremely difficult to understand because man is used to analyzing everything. We think that any object from a frog to the universe will be clearer if we take it apart into its component parts. But that's not the case with the universe. In quantum physics, reality is a superhologram in which past, present, and future exist simultaneously. That means that with the right tools, it's possible to penetrate deep into this superhologram and travel through the cosmos at speeds that are incomparably faster than light speeds, attract colossal energy, transform space and time at will. It is only necessary to master the necessary tools for this purpose. And these are the very tools that have long been called as magic. The tools for working with magic have been developed by mankind for millennia. Even cave dwellers, before they hunted, would put a skin on one of the men of the tribe and act out an impending battle that would always end in success. It's a ritual based on the principles of likeness. Or to put it simply, the man was programmed for future victory. His psyche was programmed for future victory, also using quantum physics. Can easily explain the magical rituals performed in the cemetery. Magical rituals in the cemetery. Here we deal with the usual principle of quantum entanglement. By affecting one particle, we affect another particle. So if a magician, for example,
if a magician decides to do a cemetery spell,
all he'd need to do a cemetery spell, a photograph of you or a hair
a grave,
with the same name.
If it's the same year of birth,
And if there's a namesake, then it's a match.
it's a match.
And the magician will be a success in his customary practice. It goes without saying that we are not addressing the potentially adverse consequences of an individual's actions or the ensuing reactions. Presently, our focus is solely on comprehending its mechanics. And it works on the principle of similarity
The principle of pairing.
and the principle of the particles that are in your body. And your other particle is there with the magician. Alas, in the years before quantum physics, when physics saw no point in magic and distanced itself from its achievements, the paths of magical and scientific research diverged. And here we come back to our socks again. Imagine that. A person with one leg buys a pair of socks. In this case, no quantum entanglement or observer principle exists for him. He knows from the beginning that both socks will be worn on the only foot. And so, science without magic and magic without science have all the characteristics of disability. They are one-legged, ungodly, and lack the ability to seriously alter the existing reality. At least for the moment. While magic and science are disconnected, the classical world of classical scientists. But not all scientists deny this. A huge number of scientists have long ago come to the conclusion that all magic can be explained in terms of quantum physics. Here, for example, is an excerpt of an interview.
So photographs do a lot of work. It's been proven for a long time.
And that they're taking information from them. We work too, because the transmission of DNA is the transmission of DNA phantoms. The quantum equivalent is a DNA phantom. In terms of physics, genetics, and biology, it's bullshit. You take a piece of paper and read some information from it. There's an image of a person. It's lighted silver grains or some other dye that shows the image. It's from the point of view of official medicine, genetics, and so on, but we didn't shy away from it because we knew that photography works already. People are treated by the phantoms of photography, but this is all done at the expense of their own intelligence, special abilities. What do you think after that? A popular scientist who's been doing this for years. And there are a huge number of such scientists, and we could start going through a list of their names. And we'd be doing it for a long, long time. And while much of the scientific world is actively resisting exploring, it's a path that could give them a huge number of answers. The magicians confine their work to reuniting deadbeat husbands and predicting what's in store for me next week. And discoveries in quantum physics and the creation of a new,
incredibly complex yet manageable picture of the universe
opens up the possibility for science and magic to work on the same field. For example, by using wave action on the human genome. Scientists are able to cure cancer, other incurable diseases, then, when classical medicine puts a cross. And in general, we have already, for example, revealed the technologies that are used to program the brain here in this video. These are kind of the technologies of the future that are being used now. And on that note, I invite you to write what you think about everything we have discussed today. What is your opinion? How do you feel about magic? Have you ever had any experiences with the help of magic? To change your life? Maybe change the lives of your loved ones for good or for bad. Maybe you know some unusual stories. Share. Tell us. Help us figure it out even more, and figure it out for yourself by reading the comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel and send this video if you like it to your loved ones. And so that they can share the world with you. And so you will not just be a subscriber to our channel. You will be part of our mission. You'll be part of our team that helps us to disseminate information that makes you think, information that makes you grow intellectually, and look at the world in a broader, more multifaceted way, and see that there are so many possibilities in the world. And with special techniques, you can really influence your reality and achieve any results. Money? Good. Health? Good. Happy and long-lasting relationships? Good. Or brain programming or magic. Or science. They all lie in the same realm. All of which you can apply, and they will all help you in achieving your goals. And most importantly, it's all explained scientifically. Bye. See you in the next video.